Give this a listen.
Hello everyone, Fluffy Waffles here. I got some spicy news for you guys. Basically, EIS is disbanding. Dark is quitting the game. He sent out a message to the Alliance chat. I'll show you guys that message. So you guys can see it's coming from him and it's not rumors or anything.
Oh, where is it? What was it? I'm actually sad, bro. After reading that, I feel like quitting the game too. I was waiting for him to tell the April lie, but we are in December. Wait, what?
So,
oh, here it is.
Let's take a look. So
okay. So, let's read this. Let's read this and break this down. So we have, where am I going here on this one? Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Starting at the top. Hey, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this season what you could. EIS has finally fully rebuilt as of the last season, and we have conquered the game with activity and dedication as we always have in the past. Okay, bold words, Cotton. Let's see if they pay off. All right. Okay. Some of the coordination of when to push. Oh, wait, where is it? When to push needed work, but overall the grit was there that EIS always had to just keep coming over and over and grind for the win. EIS now owns 10 dragons in our history. We are the first team in COD to reach this goal, and it probably won't be broken for many seasons after. After defeating Echo, and now WB, finally, we have established ourselves as the true number one team. I mean, let's be fair, right? And this isn't against Echo or against Dark, but I think we should be objectively correct here in that until the cracks started showing with Echo. And this isn't to say that EIS and Dark are not a top kingdom or a top fighting kingdom. They very much are. But to say that you are number one and almost make it seem like you are the undisputed number one when you use the word true, which is how I interpret that, I think that's a stretch. I do think there's the opportunity for that. But in order to be undisputed, you have to go against the best in not only team formats, but 1v1 formats as well. And the fact of the matter is that Echo is still widely considered, I think arguably by a number of people, to be the number one undisputed, like 1v1 KVK and probably overall KVK fighting kingdom in the game. I don't think that's a hot take. Now, that's not to say that there's not other kingdoms that have been able to keep up with Echo. But to say that anyone was able to overpower Echo or, have any kind of consistent victories against them in what would arguably have been their prime, I just don't think that's the case. I'll say that based on my knowledge and experience in the KVKs I have kept up with, that I've chronologized, that I've recorded, and at least that I have witnessed. So I think that's a stretch to say that. Do I think that they could have worked their way to that? Absolutely. But that's a stretch. Okay. Then we get to 38. Okay. Where am I? Finally, number one. Okay. It's been grinding. Okay, here we go. It's been a lot of hard work and grinding to get here. Many of you have been here for many seasons. Some of you have been here since near the start, and some of you are rather new. To all of you who put so much effort into making EIS the best team in COD, I want to thank you. It wouldn't be possible without so many people willing to grind, spend money, lose sleep, and do everything we need as a group to win. Okay. With EIS being number one, we no longer have any competition in the game. I'm gonna be honest. I'm almost wondering who wrote this, because part of me thinks, did Dark elicit? Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the guy's name? Who's the guy's name? That is always in character, or that always appears to be in character, and he like plays. He doesn't play. Says he's free to, the guy with the war at the Warlords. Why am I forgetting his name already? I feel so bad right now. For the King of the Mercs, Audie. Thank you. I feel like he elicited Audie's help in writing this. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Maybe like a spice of Boo. That's a good point. That's a good point. I feel like Audie and Boo like came on as co-writers for this announcement, and then it's like, okay, like everyone just, you know, sprinkled a little bit of each other in on it. Is that too much to say? Because I feel like that's where this is going, and has in my opinion. Okay, let's continue though. Okay. Where I want to thank you. Okay, would it be possible? Okay, yeah. Okay, with ES being number one, right? WB is losing a lot of power, and Echo will disband. Teams that have fake power, terrible, uncoordinated leadership teams like BTX and WAO. Damn, where's Captain, man? Captain, how you feel about that, Cap? Also, Andreas, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Where's Cap at, man? How's Cap feel about that? I should ask him. And then with BTX, yeah, I mean, they just made it to finals of Row. You know, and I mean, they have been trimming dead weight from what I've heard. But okay. And are no match to beat us, so we truly stand at the top. You know what I would be curious? Yeah, dude, right? Great. Yeah, there you go, Gridiron. Yeah, dude, Cap's catching strays, man. Even BTX is just like, man. You know what would almost be interesting to see is to go back in EIS's history and like look at all the KVKs they participated in, and look at all of like the 1v1 opportunities they had for either zone 2s or zone 3s. And then see, like, what were those matchups like? How did they perform in the 1v1s, right? Whether if there was a fight to be had, or obviously if it was just like a bye week in a sense, right? Like a bye zone because they just didn't have anyone there. I would be really curious to potentially analyze something like that, where you could see like, okay, what was their kind of 1v1 record outside of obviously a team record? Because I don't know, man. It just feels like the way that this is being worded, it almost makes it seem like everyone is beneath Dark and EIS, whether for however long that's been, but clearly as of late. Maybe that's just me and my interpretation of how this sounds. But yeah, I mean, a bit aggressive-ish, I think is fair to say. Let's continue.
Not gonna read through this.
Okay, hang on. Here we go. Okay, good. The cursor out of the way. So where am I? No match. Okay. Unfortunately, I see no more future in the game. We have a massive group wanting to join us, but I had to turn them down. Time and time again, we beg the devs to fix bastions. Okay, now we start getting into like some of the pain point stuff. To fix bastions or little things, and they F us over and over again. They don't listen. They don't care about the future of their game. This game will not get any updates to help us out. They just want to suck all of the rest of our money as they work on their next game. Damn, do they have a next game? What's the next game? I didn't hear about this. Actually, that's not true. Yami did mention that there might be something, but I don't know how much is confirmed or not confirmed, apparently. Phenom, what's up, man? Okay. Yeah, apparently she keeps me up to date on so much stuff, dude. Huge shout out to Yami. She's awesome. Okay, with this knowledge, I have decided to quit COD. There it is, dude. There is the banger. Dark quits. Hang on, let me take this off because it's getting hot in here. Show off all these muscles I've been working on at the gym. Okay, Guns isn't the only one. Guns isn't the only one out here. We've been oh god, sorry. I think I just pulled something that hurt a little bit. Okay. With this knowledge. Okay, let me take this off for a sec. With this knowledge, I have decided to quit COD. Okay. He quits. Dark quits. I mean, to be fair, at least Dark gave us a little bit more so far. Well, I should say this. If Sod and or Tempe wrote something to Echo as far as an announcement, I haven't seen it yet. So it's probably not fair to say that Dark has given us more than Sod and or Tempe has, because I haven't seen whatever may have been written there, right? Okay. But he says I quit. Okay. I will be selling my account and moving on from the game. I have been frustrated with the devs for seasons, and the only thing that kept me playing is the majority of you. Right in the feels. I love it. That's fair. That's fair. Right. We shouldn't criticize that. Okay. The fun I had and the memories in Discord party games and chats as we fight. A good many of you I still consider friends, so it was really hard to make this choice. What I'm curious here, he's breaking TOS. I mean, listen, we already know they're testing accounts selling and buying over on the Chinese or Asia servers, right? Because we covered this months ago, right? When the leaks happened, and it was confirmed that they're doing it. It just hasn't hit North America yet. And the fact that Rock is already doing it in North America, I mean, it's a given eventually it's going to come, right, over to the NA side. But you are technically right in that sense. What I'm curious on, because again, I want to listen to hear what the rest of what Fluffy has to say about his thoughts, right, on the situation there in EIS 176, is I almost wonder, did Dark give any indication before this announcement? And I don't know if there's any EIS peeps in here, but if there are, did Dark give any indication before this announcement that he was quitting? I don't know, obviously, the answer to that, but I do feel that it would be very interesting, I'll say, right, if there was. Now, if he didn't give any indication that that was going to happen, then I mean, I will say that's rough. Maybe Fluffy will tell us if this was kind of like a blindside. I mean, obviously, if he did, great on him, because for things like that, you know, you want to try and prepare. You want to prep transition periods as well as you can, because you don't want situations like what basically was the GG situation. If you remember, we interviewed the R5 Coco, right, of GG. I believe Coco eventually went to, I think it was EIS, right after 68 disbanded. They were, you know, a top 20 kingdom in the game, you know, for multiple top 25 stat boards that I had pulled. Oh, it was Echo. Okay, thank you. I'm blanking on EIS Echo. Thank you. So Coco went to Echo, but the challenge here, right, being that you had that disband, but the reason cited by Coco was that he wasn't able to find really anyone that would have been eligible and or up to the task to kind of take over as the new R5 to keep leading 68. And that eventually factored in heavily, right, to the downfall and basically a number of people in 68 splitting off and migrating elsewhere. Similar thing, it feels like, is happening right now in 60, where you had Sod and Tempe, who, again, from what I understand, there wasn't any official announcement on like who would be taking over. So it seems as though when that news was announced, that Sod and Tempe within 60 of Echo stated that they would be quitting, there was not necessarily a transition plan put in place, right? And so, you know, you get into this situation where you have the where's my sounds here? Hang on, is my volume low? Is that why? No, my levels are up. Okay, I was like, man, maybe it's just me and my levels aren't too high. Anyways, so and then you have that, right, which Sod and Tempe didn't initially indicate that there was going to be a primary lead or a primary person or a point or a POC, right, to take over Echo there in 60. And now it feels like this is a similar thing that's happening here in 176 with EIS. If Dark is saying that, hey, it's just disbanding. Now, maybe they'll announce it, right? Maybe there's more. And Maybe someone will take over. Like there could be a number of things that we don't know yet, right? Mr. Animalos, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that. Okay, let's continue going. I want to hear what else Fluffy has to say.
Tall message. It's pretty long. I'll just leave it up for a second. You guys can pause and read it as you wish. But, the first paragraph, he's just saying, hi to everyone. Thank you for...
Oh, wait, what's this? This is, JCOD says, EIS Discord has 87 players quitting the game, and 90% of the Krakens will not continue. Oh, is that confirmed? Like, did they do a poll to see who would be or not?
Your 8. Where are we in? We're in... where are we in?
Oh, so there was a
We're in
second
6,
message, too.
8.
I don't know if he's going to show off the second message, but there was a second message.
8811. This is the Age of Duality. What is that? Season of Strife, Age of Duality versus WB Rage. Sorry, it's Rage, EIS, SEL versus WB Pod and BPA, and yeah, we did win the dragon. As you can see here, we own the dragon that he posted to everyone in the Alliance chat. So that's the first paragraph. He talked about the victories of EIS having 10 dragons. He also mentioned how Echo is efficient with WB losing a lot of power and Echo disbanding. And then he's mentioned EIS, so he pretty much to chat with the community managers, and then they can take the all the R5s of alliances have access to chat with the community managers. And then they can take the feedback back to the developers, and he's mentioned a lot of times in voice call that they've given feedback in that King's chat and things are not being listened. So that's what he saw. And then the last paragraph is, with all this stuff that he said up here, he's decided to quit CallofDragons, and he will be is that.
Oh, here we go. Okay, good. Okay. Thank you, Fluffy, for showing the second message, you sexy beast. Okay, let's read this. Okay, I've quit. Okay, here we go. I will be keeping the Discord as EIS, and the bonds we made will never go away. I will keep party games, and maybe we schedule occasional party game nights or come chat just to stay in touch. If another game comes in the future, that's a lot of fun. I would love to be your leader once again and start our journey on a new fun and exciting game. I did not make this decision lightly, but I thought about it all season, and no matter how hard I look, I see no future for COD. But I do see a future for EAS, so I hope many of you will stay in the Discord with me and maybe finally turn your pings on, since I won't be spamming it so we can reach one another. I mean, yeah, man, people get pinged. I am sorry to make this choice, as I know there are no good teams to join, and I make it hard on you all, but I know for me it is the right choice. Dude, he is just like, I'm telling you, man, Dark is just banger shot after banger shot after banger shot, man. I'm sorry to make this choice, as I know there are no good teams to join. I mean, talk about just literally firing a shot at the entire COD community, at every single other top kingdom. I mean, who does this guy think he is? Oprah? Just dishing out, you get a shot, you get a shot, you get a shot. You're not worth joining, you're not worth joining, you're not worth joining, you're definitely not worth joining. It's just like, damn, bro, like that is a bomb. How can no one else look at that and be like, yo, my man fired a shot off at everybody. Dude, let me break this down so you understand how massive of a shot fired that was. Okay? Let's go through this real quick. Okay? This is, and again, I'm going to do a new top 25 as well this month. But let's look at it from last month. Okay? WBA, trash, not worth joining. BTX, trash, not worth joining. NTS, trash, not worth joining. RAC, trash, not worth joining. BTX and WAO, apparently from Dark, super trash, right? Not worth joining. 25IL, trash, not worth joining. 30 NA, Row Finals winners, Row League Season 1 winners, trash, not worth joining. FA, trash, not worth joining. YSS, coming from G4, might be going to G2, but they're trash, right? Not worth joining. Dooms, Kingdom 110 ROG, trash, not worth joining. MFD, who upset EIS, guess what? Even though you accomplished that historical feat, you're still trash. Now we're joining. FWI trash. Now we're A2G trash. DYH. I mean, literally saying everyone is trash. Like, what are we doing here, man? I have to almost believe at this point it is a persona. Like that, for me to kind of like get through what's happening. Like, I just feel like I have to put myself in some kind of like just distorted reality of just so I can understand, maybe just get through this, right? Okay, let's continue. All right. I mean, dude, that's a nuts statement. Yeah, that's wild. I feel like that's something Adi and Boo would say, to be fair. And now I'm really wondering, like, was Dark influenced by these people in any means when writing this? Okay. But okay. I am sorry to make this choice. Oh, wait, here we go. As I go to teams, okay, we finally disband. Okay, here we go. I asked our R4, here we go. I asked our R4 team if they wanted to continue EIS, and they said they did not wish to take on the reins. Okay, so respect here. Again, man, I will give Dark some respect on this one because he officially stated that he did try to do some kind of transition, right? It's not your fault if no one else wants to step up. I will always be fair on that front. So him saying that he asked. Now, keep in mind, there is a big difference, and I'm going to give you two sides of this. Number one, if he was preparing this ahead of time, it could have been easier to transition someone else into power or transition someone else into a lead role. If you only did this, because I don't know how this played out, right? If this was a shotgun announcement and he didn't prep any of the management team ahead of time, and when I say ahead of time for something like this, I mean at least maybe 2 months in advance, like at least a full season in advance, to give people the opportunity to either prepare on where they need to go if you're just a player, and or for the management team to maybe come up with a game plan and say, this is who's going to lead now, right? And that typically should try to happen before, like oh God, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to give like a managerial 101 course on how just to be like a decent boss / human being to your coworkers, but it's just like, dude, this announcement is coming off as like, oh man, I got bored. I'm not having fun anymore. Deuces, like GG, no re, have fun. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, not sorry. That's how this comes across to me. And it sucks. I will say that. Like, this is not, now again, I'm basing this on how it looks. If, like I said, if Dark did take the time to prep his management team, listen, man, I'll be courteous. I'll give you a month of time before you made this announcement. Anywhere between at least 1 to 2 months of time where you had a chance to have some meaningful conversations with your management team and say, this is how I'm feeling, this is kind of where I'm leaning. I would love to try and figure something out so that way 176 doesn't have to go down this path that 68 did, that others did, that obviously the future announcement of Echo did from Sod and Tempe, and we can try to keep everyone here. Why is that important? It's for the same reasons that I said, with the Echo disband, and even the 68 disband when I interviewed Coco, is you do not want to put yourself in a situation where all of those top players have to then basically, it almost feels like they're forced to move, right? Because of the kind of negative downward snowballing effect, the momentum that's going there on a decline when you make such an announcement like that. And now everyone's like, they're for themselves because they're scrambling. They don't know what's going to happen. And because based on this announcement so far, it doesn't seem like there's a clear plan of action or next steps on what is 176 going to do to try and keep everyone here. This very much comes off as a bye sayonara, good luck in your future, but basically you guys are all independent contractors now, just go do your own thing. Like, that's what it is. It's sorry, thank you for the good times, but now you need to go and figure out whatever you're going to do next. Now, that, let me be clear here, that does not mean that That does not mean that 176 could not survive. But the problem is that it would take a Herculean effort. Let's be very clear here. Ricardo, thank you so much for the sub, man. I appreciate that. It would take a Herculean effort, a massive effort and endeavor by interested parties still within 176 to come together and for people to step up. Because if Dark is saying that no one from the R4 team is interested, the only people you have left is R1s through R3s, meaning that you would have to have someone step up from that pool of players to want to try and lead and keep everyone together. So it's not to say that's impossible, but that is a lot harder to do than if you try and work things out with your management team first. And I'm talking beforehand. Then we get to the second side of this. The second side of this is he didn't inform them ahead of time. He just dropped the ball on them like the day of, or maybe an hour before the announcement was made, worst case. And now the R4s have to make kind of this super fast, quick decision, and there's just not enough time to process. There's not enough time to comprehend, to download, to assess the situation, and then figure out if they even want or if they would consider, which maybe some of them would have if there was more time allowed to process the fact that he was going to be quitting and leaving, compared to, and I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. It's a very big psychological difference between you having to make a decision basically within, like he asks you, and let's say 24 hours, who knows when he asked and then how much time went by before he then put the announcement out, right? Let's say it was 24 hours. And we're just talking in the worst case scenario, right? In this second side of the argument. If that happened, I don't think 24 hours is enough time for any of the R4s to basically to raise their hand and be like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and lead, the number one kingdom in the game. That is EIS. It's just, it almost sets them up to just basically say and go down the path that everyone's going down, which is, oh yeah, I don't want to do this, right? And that's what I'm trying to say. Is that there's a big difference between you giving people enough time to process, to understand, to comprehend, and then to kind of sort through and analyze and then figure out what those next steps are, and you as the leader working on those things with them to help them transition smoothly, versus bomb dropping, because again, we don't know exactly which one happened, but if that happened, bomb dropping and then expecting them to make a decision within 24 hours, right, in the worst case scenario. Now, I'd like to believe a little bit more than 24 hours was allotted here. But again, I'd have to speak to someone in EIS, one of the officers there, and or Dark himself, right? And obviously, me and Dark are basically on, bro hug, lovey-dovey terms, just like me and Kyle are at FSK apparently now, which I still don't know why, but okay. Let's continue. Those were just I just wanted to share that because I thought that was really important to state, because we have to be fair on both sides. Okay. I did not make the, oh, wait, here, I see a future, okay, I am sorry to make this choice. Wait, where I asked R4, okay, here we go. They want to get into this, they said they did not wish to take the reins. So after the season, after 15 seasons of everyone doubting EIS and claiming we are disbanding, we will finally disband on our own terms as the number one team in CallofDragons. I mean, this is funny in the sense of, he's not wrong that the EIS disbanding memes feel like they happen every season, and there's always some people that are kind of throwing the joke out there. But it's funny that Dark felt the need to call specific attention to that, to say oh yeah, I'm the one who says we disband, not all of you peons. You know what I mean? It's just I needed to be the one to have the kind of the last word. It's just kind of how it looks to me. Okay. The past seasons, I didn't have the same drive to solo lead the team as I once did, but instead finally got good R4 groups who helped ES become a well-oiled machine. Thank you to all my R4s for all your hard work. I would have quit several seasons sooner if not for having such a good R4 team. Big shout out to Mimo, Drunk, and Godzilla for being here since season 1. Big shout out to Kolek and a girl joining us after global migration, putting in a ton of work to make us what we are. I respect there, man, because you're taking time to shout people out and acknowledge people's contributions and their accomplishments and their assistance in kind of everyone supporting the Alliance and the Kingdom. So I'm good on you for that, absolutely. Okay, Next, thank you, EIS, for all the memories. I have never experienced something as great as the EIS community in all of my gaming days. I'm glad of all the friends I met along the way, and many of you are actually my friends. You know who you are. For the very last time, your bestest friend, Sex Idol, and Supreme Leader Dark. You know what I would be curious on? Would be if someone took a screenshot of this from their Discord and showed it to me with like the current reactions that are on it. If reactions are enabled, I would be really curious to see that. Just maybe just my own thoughts on that one. But yeah, that would be interesting. Okay, so we got the rest of Fluffy's video. Let's go ahead and listen a little bit more here.
And then just continuation, last paragraph there. He's gonna keep the Discord of EIS together. You know, thank you for work than they needed to, shouldering the weight from Dark, because he do echo that shout out to all the R4s for seasons, because this was the only 2 seasons I've been with EIS. So yeah, that's the breaking news of EIS disbanding. What will Fluffy do? Well,
yeah, no, that's okay, Machine. I was just asking. I'm not saying you or anyone asked.
Play with my good friend Guns. I also have a lot of other friends there. Strange, Jason G, of course.
Oh, dude. So Fluffy's going to TFS. Okay, confirmed. There we go. Fluffy says he's going to go join Guns in TFS. I mean, okay. I mean, to be fair, you know, if we look at fighting potential from, where is this? So if we look at like fighting percentage from, this was taken from this last season. I think this was last season, either last season or total. I think. Yeah. Now I'm thinking maybe. No, sorry. This was last season. Excuse me. So these are the PvP percentages from last season. I'm gonna actually try. I'm working with Fuzzy and Ezio to see if we're able to get to find like the lifetime merit data for players or just kingdoms. And I think they said they might be able to. So if so, I might be able to kind of show off like, you know, who's lifetime and like what the KVK season to season performances are for like PvP performances on kingdoms and like some other advanced stats too as well. So I'm just waiting to get an update on that. But as it stands, this was from last month. I'm going to do another one of these this month. Probably this week is when I'm going to start putting the top 25 out for December. But you could see here, right, this was what we covered last month for the previous season. That not for AOD, but this would have been the last KVK season before that, at least as it pertains to the G2 pool. And you could see on here, right, these were some of the kingdoms, their power. I don't know where TFS was. Again, because I know that they were still bringing in some people. I know some people had left the previous season. But again, you could see kind of the top 25, at least on PvP percentage for how that looks. Right, obviously, just to kind of show you, just to kind of give you guys an idea there. Okay, let's continue.
Mandu, Cranbro, I have a lot of friends in TFS, so I will be rejoining TFS at the end of the season. So yeah, if TFS doesn't grow, that's fine. We can just have a more chill and relaxed KVK, and then I can just hang out with my buddies like, you know, Gun Strange, Jason, Mandu, all those people, you know. So excited to go back there now that EIS is disbanding. And I want to just give a big shout out and thank you to Dark and all the R4s, like Agro, Vanyo, Godzilla, Rudius, Mimo, Carillion, Huskiki. Sorry, he changed his name, so it kind of threw me off. Huskiki. Spartan was here for a little bit, and then before he quit. But yeah, thank you all Dark and all the R4s for the great 2 seasons I've had playing with EIS. And all the members that I've been playing with since I've been here. It's been great to see you all on the battlefield. Especially, I can name out a few names, I guess, just to shout them out. Rafi, tuning in and paying attention.
Oh, dang it, I was muted for a second. I started talking fucking start. I muted myself real quick, so you guys have to hear me blow my nose. I appreciate how quick you guys are, though, on that. Thank you, Phenom. Okay, but sorry, I was just saying to TLDR summarize Fluffy's video is that, and again, we're gonna give this a thumbs up, right? Show some love. Always gotta support fellow creators. The conclusion here is that, right, there was two part 1 and part 2 announcements that were shown from Dark on the EIS situation, and then number 3 is that Fluffy stated that he's going to be leaving 176 and going to Kingdom 60 to join TFS, right? Okay. Now it's going to be, so now this is cool in a sense, because I have, and we're going to read through some comments too as well here. But what's interesting now is I have 2 kingdoms that I can track where players are leaving or where they're going to from Echo and from EIS, right? Because I told everyone that I'm going to be tracking all of, if not most of the players that are in 60 for anyone that leaves. And I'll do the same thing for 176 with EIS, and we'll see where the Echo and where the EIS players go. I think that will be very interesting to see as, obviously, season to season goes on. But clearly we're probably not going to get like the biggest wave until we get closer to the end of the season, and then prior to registration concluding for next KVK season. Okay, let's read through some comments here. And then next, we're going to go through Princess's video. So Princess did a video saying my farewell and why I will quit Call of Dragons. Right, so we're gonna watch and listen to this next, and we're gonna react to that as well. But let's see here. Morty says, end of an era in Call of Dragons. Was a pleasure to be with EIS and against you over the years. EIS and Echo disbanding after the same season. Crazy times we live in. It was fun fighting on your side. Thank you for everything. I hope our paths cross again. This tells a lot of the game's current condition, because even the R5 of a winning alliance is frustrated with how the devs are handling new updates. It's aft. I mean, it's probably a fairish comment, I would argue. It's so sad, man. It was really fantastic playing there and on your side. Killam says, free rose skin, come here, baby. Dude, oh my God. I wonder how many people will quote this. Will continue to quote this. I mean, this is gonna go down in history probably as an iconic historical Call of Dragons line. That is fair. That is fair. Right? I think that very much will happen if it has not already made its way into COD's history of historical, just like massive quotes, right? Like that's something Dark will probably continue to live on for. Kind of crazy that Rogue killed both Echo and EIS though. I mean, all right. I mean, is he wrong? Not is he wrong, but like, did it not factor? You could maybe say that. Bro couldn't say adios without shiting on everyone else. Good riddance to this kind of talks. I mean, I said that as well, right? He couldn't say adios without shiting on everyone. I mean, we said that as well. That's funny. Someone else noticed it. Wow, starting to see a trend here. As a newer player, I've been dealing with burnout and concern about the game's future. So I can only imagine how people who've been playing for 10 or 15 seasons feel. I think you are such a good fit with the crew at TFS. Best of luck to you. Well done, EIS. You accomplished so much. I mean, they did. EIS absolutely did have a number of accomplishments. I think that's fair to say. A pleasure playing with you, Fluffy. Diablo here. Most fun I had in a long time playing with you. Great season. EIS truly greatest team ever assembled. Best R5s, R4. Sad news, but we move on. I've never seen anyone play like ES in the whole game. Shame to disband, but we will all remember the name forever. GG to ES and Echo disbanding game is on edge of literal death. F the devs. Okay. Let me see. No one can blame him. Look around. Even Echo disbanding and a lot of players quitting. Imagine you invest on this game and put you in a matchmaking with literally no fight until final zone. Then on the FZ, when the pass open, you need 10 hours to be very close, and then boom, Bastions drop, and people just log out. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, listen, did Age of Duality help the case? I don't think so. Did it help the case in people, like, engaging the player base, especially those at the top, and giving them an exciting season to look forward to. I don't think maybe it's not even a stretch to say part of me. A large part of me feels that it did quite the opposite in that case. Let's see what else we got. Any other? These smaller kingdoms are the way to go. I hope all the players spread out somewhere evenly. I mean, we'll see. That would be great. Let me see. EIS number 1, Sorrow, Straver, 10 to 15 wins at ESGG's everyone. We faced Allied. Good luck to all. Rayhart, oh man, all Jason G, greatest rival and competitor, is retiring. This is very bad news for the devs and community. Is COD cooked? We all knew the game was going to go downhill the minute Exemplars came out. The devs got greedy, and it's no secret their new game is already in the works. Really? Why is this the second person or the third person to now say something about this new game that's already in the works? And because Yami told me something about this as well. And this is the third post or comment I've seen about this now, but I don't know what particular game this is. Even people like MP from the OGBDO shared insider knowledge that the CEO of the company shared, including future plans. And where did he go? He left super early on and gave his account to Duz. Of all people, he knew the game had no true future. GG Lilith. Oh, interesting. Oh my God, I just started loving EIS. All right.